Hello everyone and welcome back to another reading vlog. If you're new here, my name is Sofia. I don't know if I should call these reading vlogs or life vlogs. I don't know. I want to tackle my first goal or challenge for 2022, and that is making reading a habit. During September, October, November, I was so good at following my reading schedule. I have like a schedule of what books I want to read each week of the month, and I also read 1 hour every morning and every night, which crazy now that I think about it. But during the last few months of the year, I kind of fell behind because it was such a busy time. So one of my goals for 2022 is making reading a habit. I want to read every day, I want to read every morning, every night, and I just want to get back into it. Let me tell you what I'm currently reading. The first book I'm reading is Jadefire Girl by June C.L. Tan. This was a recommendation by Em. I also really want to read it. I actually got this book while on New York. I just came back from New York last week, so expect all the vlogs. I went book shopping with Bisma. I met Bisma, my internet friend. Those vlogs should be coming in the next few weeks. I decided to start it yesterday. I'm on page 40 and this is a YA Asian inspired story, and so far it's reminding me a lot of The Poppy War, but make it YA. In those 40 pages I've met the two main characters. One of them is this emperor's son that had to run because his family was killed. Now he wants revenge and he wants to take the throne back. And then our main lady of the story is this poor girl that lives in this village, but she has a really big secret. She is a magic wielder. She can produce magic of some sort, but magic is forbidden in this new emperor's rule. I don't really like the color of the hardcover though. They could have gone with like a green, but they went with yellow. Doesn't really matter. And then on the plane I started reading The Midnight Library and I had to stop because I was full on sobbing. I didn't know what the book was about. When I read the first page, this is not a spoiler, when I read the first page and the main character is talking about unaliving herself, what? I got shocked. The first like 50 pages are incredibly sad and I was crying. Like, people were looking at me weird. And this is the story about a depressed woman finds herself in this kind of limbo place, but it is a library. Please read the trigger warnings. I will leave them down below because you want to read this one. And then I'm also reading Addicted for Now, which is the third book in the Addicted series, which is a romance series. This is like my happy book. When I'm reading sad books, I need something to uplift me. So yeah, this is my happy, smutty romance book that I'm currently reading. I think I'm 30% into it, and I also want to finish this week. I finished The Dragon Republic while on my plane to New York, and also I was crying like crazy. That ending, I was expecting it. Like, I knew it was gonna happen, but what? I cannot stop thinking about it. One of my favorite books of all time. That book was crazy. You know, like A Stranger Dreamer is my favorite book. Well, The Dragon Republic is in the same level, it's just different. One has like a lot of feelings and the other one was hella good. But I cannot choose. I cannot wait to read The Burning God. I just need a little bit of like, I need to breathe. Let's start the week and let's read this baby because I want to make it at least 200 pages into there. Morning guys, so it is Tuesday and I've read a little bit, so I wanted to update you. I didn't do much this morning. I edited some videos, I packed some Etsy orders. My normal life. Didn't do anything special. I do have read a bit of all of my books, which is exciting. I woke up this morning, I read a little bit in the morning, and then after I've done all the things that I had to do around the house and like my to-do list basically, I read more, so that's one day of having a reading schedule in the morning. I do tend to be more focused on what I'm doing in the mornings than in the evenings. My first tip for trying to read more will be find the time in the day where you think you are more focused and you're not tired and you actually want to read, and just set a little bit of time at that time of the day to read, even if it's just like 5 pages. At the end of the week, it adds up. The one I read the most was Addicted for Now, because it's getting good. It's getting really good. And I reached part 2 and a Spider-Man quote came up, this one, and I was just like, favorite book ever. Not really, but I'm really enjoying it. If you don't know what the Addicted series is about, we follow Lily and Lo, which they are both addicts. She's a sex addict and he is an alcoholic, and they are just trying their best to be better people. But just a romance, nothing special. Then I read like 50 pages from the Midnight Library and I'm enjoying it a lot more. Each book is a possible life that she could have had, and the library is basically a possibility for her to choose and like forget all her regrets that she had in life. I'm enjoying it more because it's faster. Now she's speaking like from one life to another, and you can see how the book is gonna go, and you kind of understand the dynamics of the library, which is really nice. I'm going berserk with this book. It has so many like thoughts on life and how to live life to the fullest, and regrets and lost opportunities, and sometimes it just hits too hard. She says, you could have told me, you could have just told me instead of showing me. And he says, because not sometimes the only way to learn is to leave. Sometimes regrets aren't based on fact at all. Sometimes regrets are just a lot of bullshit. Yeah, I'm really glad I'm reading this. It's probably gonna be a slow read. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it this week. And then my last read, which I thought I would have read a bit more of, but I didn't, is Jade Fire Gold. I'm on page 80. I'm having mixed feelings about this book. The beginning is pretty much classic YA, and the writing is as well, so I don't really know right now. It's a 3 stars because I do like the story. It's just a bit cliche. I thought it was gonna be more, I don't know if it's because I read like really good books before these and really good fantasies, but I don't think I'm gonna DNF. I'm gonna try to keep going till like 100 pages or so, see, because maybe it's not the time to read this book. Excuse my face because I decided to stay in comfy clothes today. I'm really nervous. Tomorrow I start my internship and I have no idea what to expect, so I'm really anxious. So I'm trying not to think about it. I just got a delivery. Let me show you what it is and then I can explain. Such a big box for just these, but it is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. Why is this here? I know what you're thinking. Sofia, you don't read Shadowhunter books. But I want to. That's the real answer. I want to, and I'm making it a goal. The other day I was talking with Bisma and Em, and just seeing how much Bisma likes these books just made me remember all the love I had for the Shadowhunters. So I read The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices back when I was in high school, when I was 16. So that's like 6 years ago. And I used to love them, and now I see everyone liking the Dark Artifices and this new trilogy, and I just wanted to jump back into it. So one of my resolutions for last year also was reading Shadowhunters, but I didn't make it through. But I think this year is more possible for that to happen. I got the hardcovers. I got a few more. They probably are arriving in the mail. I got most of them secondhand. I don't really care about the books, but I do want the hardcovers for the ones I don't own yet. My plan is to read 15 books. Okay, let me show you my plan. Because I search for the order you have to read them. And I read the whole of the Mortal Instruments, but I want to read them just to get back into it. So I'm actually listening to the audiobook of City of Fallen Angels right now. And then just all the new trilogies and all the like novella thingies. So that is 15 books. By November 1st, which is when the next book comes out, and it's on my birthday. I have 4% of camera in the batteries. In the camera, in the battery in the camera. So I got a packages. I'm just gonna show you super fast. Ugh. I hate when pulls don't work. This is not a secret. Freaking versus book club. I can't. It's Such a Fun Age by Kylie Rae. Why? I cannot order a book without it being like Reese's Book Club. But the reason why I wanted to order this, I always wanted to read it. I heard really good things about this book, and the cover has always like drawn my attention to it. And it is Black History Month, so what better month to read this book? So I'm probably gonna read it sometime in February. I have to blame Bisma for this, and it is a tripod. When I was in New York, she had this amazing tripod, and my small one is like so beaten, it doesn't support my camera anymore. So yes, I loved her tripod and it looks so good. I'm gonna try it. Look how it is. Super cute. I'll update you in my reads. Let me charge the camera first. I made myself a cup of coffee, and I also got a little treat, 2 of my favorite cookies, even though this morning I also ate a cupcake, but it's okay. Yesterday I finished Addicted for Now. Loved it. The first 2 books in the series, I enjoyed them, but there wasn't anything special about them. I did like that it was a bit of a different kind of romance, with them being like addicted, you know, their lives with addiction, which is quite different from other romance books I read. Everything was wholesome. I really liked the recovery from their addiction. I also really loved the plot, because we have a plot, like something happens in this book, not like the other ones where we just follow the characters and nothing much happened. I gave it a 3.95 stars, only because I'm trying to be a bit more critical about my ratings. It doesn't get 4 stars just because the beginning was a bit slow for me. Then I made it to page 100 of the Midnight Library, and I can tell you I'm understanding the point of the book a bit more now. And I love how every single life she tries out has a meaning, and I got really into it yesterday. Look at this. I just went annotation crazy, but I love annotating paperbacks. Can you blame me? No, you can't, cause but yeah. And then the other book I actually finished that I was really surprised is City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. I just said, let's read the Shadowhunters and be up to date. I already read one. Well, I didn't read it. I listened to it on audiobook because I wasn't feeling picking the book up. So I was like, let's try the audiobook. And the audiobook's good. And it just remembered me how much I loved Cassandra Clare and Cassandra Clare books. And yeah, the Mortal Instruments, the first 6 books, might not be the best, but they are full of memories. I read them when I was in high school, and it's just nostalgia in a book. I love Isabel Lygood. You can say anything about Izzy, I don't care. She is that bad bitch in the 2010s. I love it, and I love how she is a character greeting around the 2000s, but she is still a woman and she still loves girly things, but she's also still greeting as a strong female character. Like, she's a warrior, but she also likes girly things, which is something you wouldn't see in the 2000s. Everything would be like, oh, I'm not like those girls. Girly things? I love Izzy. Role model. I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Because nothing much happened in the book, but I enjoy seeing the characters again. About the internship, I didn't tell you. It was my first day. I was really anxious. It's my first ever like big thing, big job, and I was really excited but also really scared. I think it's something that is scary to everyone, even when you have work like in other office environments. When you go into like a new job, you don't know what to expect. You are like meeting new people. I love the people that work with me and my team. They were really nice and understanding. I thought I would have to go to the office more, but because of COVID right now, they are doing at home work. So I'll be staying here probably over the next few weeks till they see how the COVID thing is going and I can go there. It was good. It was good. I'm excited for the new part of my life and I'm glad I could take you all with me. This looks like the BTS logo. Either you stole BTS logo or BTS stole it. I'm joking. Tips for reading more and how I used to do it in high school. Let's start with reading schedules. When I'm planning the books of the month, I normally do a TBR around what books I kind of want to read. You don't have to stick to these TBR normally, but let's say I want to read 5 books. I will divide this book between the weeks of the month. So let's say the first week of the month I read 2, then another week of the month I read 2, then I read 1, then I read another. So I literally grind from the 1st to the 6th. I have to read these, and these. Then I pick up my book. Well, this is not a good example. When I pick my book, let's say I'm gonna read this the first week of February, which I'm doing. I will divide the books in sections. Each section is what I want to read in a day. I normally don't stick with these, but it's something to keep in mind. Some days I read 2 of those parts and then another day I only read a bit of that part. And it feels so good when you reach one part. It's like, I made it. I made it. And then it keeps you motivated to keep reading. So it's like a little treat. Instead of saying I want to read this whole book in a week, you're not gonna feel like you're not gonna have those little treats that are gonna keep you going. So just divide your book and you're good to go. This is what my reading schedule looks like. I normally grade it on Options. So if you wanna try these to read a little bit more, I will also say consistency. Even if you've read 5 minutes a day, your brain will become like trained to tell you by itself, hey, I want to read. It's like when you shower every day. I'm a person that showers every day. I cannot go to bed without showering every day. It's like my brain tells me you have to have a shower. Or brush your teeth. Like, you cannot go to bed without brushing your teeth. So we are trying to train our brain to do the exact same thing. It's okay if you miss one day, but at the beginning I will say try to be as consistent as you can. Also, the book you are reading, it's really important. Most of the times a reading slump happens because the book you're reading isn't really that good, or it isn't as good as the last book you read, and it's not like you're not liking it basically. So don't be scared to put books down. I don't even want to call them DNFs, because I mean, if you don't like a book, you know that you don't like a book, DNF. But there's these times that I start reading a book and it's just not the time, and I'm gonna love that book, but it's not the time to read that. It happened to me with Legendborn and The Night Circus. I had to put them down, but I was enjoying them. It was just not the time. So put them aside, read them another time, and pick up something you are more interested in, or something that you know it's gonna like be easier to read at the time. Don't be afraid. Just talk to yourself and be like, what works for me? How can I make these a thing? And get like 5 minutes every day to read, and you will find it, and it will be awesome, let me tell you. With that being said, Sofia is gonna go. I'm gonna finish the Midnight Library and drink my coffee.
He chased. He shook his head. No. Claire wanted to scream, but she kept her voice deliberate, careful, calm.
I actually forgot to end this video, so I'm gonna do it really quickly. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some tips that are gonna help you read a bit more. Let's be helpful to each other, and let's write in the comments if you have any other tips that help you read more during really busy times. And also let me know what you read this week, because I always want to know. I actually have a few pages left of the Midnight Library, and I will have read 3 books this week. Psh, crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's gonna be all for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to keep updated with my reads, I have Goodreads, I have Bookstagram. I will put all my social media down below in case you want to search for those. I love you guys, and I'll see you with another video next week.